those kids to the front here too. Get those kids up front. Let's see. There's more room down here too. All right, get that kid up front here. Go over there. There's room over there. Get right over there. Get that kid up front. Welcome, welcome everybody. Welcome to Hope Elephants. You met Patty and Fred. I'm Dr. Jim. There's Neal. This is Opal and Rosie. Two old friends of mine I met back in the 1970s. My brother Tom and I had a juggling act on a circus, and these two very elephants were on that show. Of course, I was taller than them back then. They were about that big. And but even back then, my brother Tom and I had the idea, gee, someday it would be nice to do something special for these elephants. Not that they're mistreated, but you know, it's a hard life on the circus for these girls. And so that dream came true last October when we brought them up here from southeast Oklahoma to take special care of them. We're going to tell you all about that and all about elephant evolution, anatomy, physiology, anything you want to know. But what we do here is we just kind of go about our normal business with these girls. And we have you ask questions. So anyone with any question pops into your mind, just sing right out. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. All right?
Do they know you?
Yes. At one point, I hadn't seen Rosie for 10 years or so, from mid-'80s to mid-'90s. And so I went down to Oklahoma to see her, and she came running over, grabbed my hand, and put it in her mouth, which is elephant-to-person affection. So yeah, she remembers very well. And they remember because they're so clever.
What you're looking at here are two Asian elephants, old friends of Jim's, like we already talked about. But they are here because in my world, they are sort of perfectly injured for our purposes. Rosie here, she suffers from something known as floppy trunk syndrome. And it sounds like there should be a pharmaceutical for that, but there is not. She has a little trunk paralysis about a foot below her eye. And you'll see, Jim's going to kind of illustrate all that right now. The other major malady my girls have is their front left legs are both lame for different reasons. But what Jim is doing right now, this is what we call target training.
Good girl.
This is something we do every day. This is a good leg. And now we're going to show you a not so good leg on Opal. He's going to work her laterally and medially, and you'll see she can extend that leg fairly far if he gets her working hard.
Touch it way. Gotcha. Good girl. Way to go, honey. Show girl.
Yeah, she did more than that in the circus, but the truth is, when you see Jim exercising her there, that's not meant for your entertainment. That's really just physical rehabilitation. What we're doing with this trunk is the same thing. Like we said, Rosie has problems with her trunk, and that leg you see working right there, she's not nearly as nimble as Opal with the front left leg. But I would tell you that one frustration with us is that these guys, you almost see an unwillingness to even try to flex that leg. That's on both my elephants, but the actual range of motion that you've seen, more illustrated better with Opal, is that we've increased the range of those legs, that motion, 35% since their arrival in October. So we feel like we're making great headway, and we feel like we're making great headway on Rosie's trunk as well. One thing we'll notice about Rosie, Rosie's here on your right, she was about a foot below her eyes. You see how there's almost no wrinkles in that area of her trunk? That is where we believe that really her nerve damage is. We've increased the diameter of that trunk 2 full inches since her arrival in October. So have we cured floppy trunk syndrome right here in Hope, Maine?
What would cause it in the first place?
Oh, that's a good question. The question was, what would cause floppy trunk syndrome? Does anyone know? This is not keeping you up at night?
Remember, this is a G-rated show here.
This is a G-rated show. What's causing floppy trunk syndrome? It can actually be from a toxic plant. It can be from trauma. If it's from trauma, we don't know exactly when that happened. It can also be from a natural nerve degeneration. So what have we done? Have we really solved floppy trunk syndrome? Keep in mind, we do acupuncture on this trunk. We do ultrasound. We're working on shortwave diathermy. And we certainly work that trunk every day. But one of the big things we've really done is we've made Rosie more of an elephant. She was orphaned and bottle raised by humans. In other words, she imprinted better on humans than other elephants. If I put an elephant over there and one of you guys right here, she'd be more inclined to come over and visit you guys. That's really cute and kind of endearing until guess what? You got to mix with an elephant because she's an elephant. She was ostracized in her herd. Other elephants would throw their trunk out at her. She was really kind of, they were dismissing of her. Probably which led to her getting beaten up, believe it or not.